March 3rd, 1847. I have spent too many nights alone in the city of London, taking my nightly walks through the fog-soaked streets in search of stillness. My work as a clerk demands much, but solitude and fresh air remain my only comforts. Yet, tonight, I encountered something beyond explanation. I was passing St. Peter's Gate when a chill, colder than the damp of spring, crept up my spine. From across the street, I noticed a man watching me. He wore a dark coat, his face barely visible under a wide-brimmed hat, yet something felt wrong. He didn't move, didn't even flinch. His gaze held me. I hurried on, not daring to look back, but I swear I felt his eyes on me as I walked away. I must put it out of my mind. I am a rational man, after all. March 5th, 1847. The man was there again, standing by the lamppost outside my lodging. It was barely dusk, but the shadows seemed thicker around him, as if the light itself shrank from his presence. This time, he lifted his head slightly, and I caught a glimpse of his eyes, hollow and dark, as if they belonged to something that had never been alive. I pretended not to see him, walked right past, though my hands were shaking. I couldn't sleep that night, haunted by the emptiness of his gaze. I fear I may be losing my wits. March 8th, 1847. I tried to avoid him, took a different route, kept my head down, yet he was there, in the shadows of an alleyway, just a shape but unmistakable. He spoke, or perhaps it was only a whisper carried by the wind. I heard my name, low and grating, as though it had traveled a great distance just to reach my ear.
Johnathan.
I wanted to run, but my legs betrayed me, froze me in place. I felt rooted to the ground, like prey before a predator. Finally, I found the will to move, nearly stumbling over myself to flee back to my lodging. I could not shake his voice. It lingered, crawling through my thoughts, twisting them. March 12th, 1847. The damn visions, they won't stop. I see him even in my own room, just beyond the edge of candlelight. I try to sleep, but every time I close my eyes, I feel his presence, like he's leaning over my bed, waiting. This has gone too far. Perhaps it is some trick, a game played by the mind, but his face, each time I look, it seems clearer, as if he is growing closer. Last night, I felt a pressure on my chest, as if someone was pressing down on me, stealing the breath from my lungs. I opened my eyes, and he was there, inches from my face. I thought I might scream, but no sound escaped me. His face is burned into my mind, skin taut over a skeletal grin, eyes that glow with a sickly light. He doesn't speak now, only stares, with an intensity that seems to hollow me out from the inside. March 15th, 1847. I cannot eat, I cannot sleep. I fear I am losing myself to this thing. Everywhere I go, I see his shadow, waiting, watching. It's not the man himself anymore, it's something more sinister. It's as though his shadow has seeped into the world, spreading, infecting my very perception. My own reflection in the mirror has begun to change. At first, it was subtle, a trick of the light. Now I see his face staring back at me, grinning. It is not my own face anymore. God help me, I am afraid of my own reflection. I tried covering the mirrors, but even in the dark, I feel him, lingering just beneath my skin. March 20th, 1847. Today, I awoke to find strange marks on my arms, dark and twisted like bruises, yet they do not ache. It's as if his hands have left imprints on my flesh. I fear to touch anything, for the bruises seem to spread with every object I touch. I feel tainted, as though his presence has sunk into me, marking me as his. I no longer walk the streets. I dare not leave my room. The walls feel like they're closing in, trapping me with him, forcing me to confront his haunting gaze over and over again. March 25th, 1847. There is no escape. I see him even in the smallest things, in the flickering shadows on the wall, in the corners of my eyes, in the silence that fills the room. He is everywhere and nowhere, and I am fading. I no longer feel like myself. His gaze has hollowed me out, stripped me of all that was once familiar. Sometimes I catch myself speaking in his voice, low and hollow, words I do not understand. It feels as though he is consuming me piece by piece. My own thoughts sound foreign, twisted, and corrupted. March 30th, 1847. This will be my last entry. I see now that he is not a man, not even a ghost, but something far older, far darker. He has invaded me, consumed me. I feel my mind slipping, my thoughts no longer my own. His face is all I see now, even when I close my eyes, grinning, as if reveling in his conquest. I write these words with what little remains of myself, for soon, I know, I will be gone. I am becoming him, or he is becoming me. There is no distinction anymore. When the final piece of me fades, I will be nothing but a hollow shell, a vessel for his darkness. To whoever finds this diary, beware. He is not bound by time nor place. He lingers, watching, waiting. He is patient, and he is always searching for another soul to claim.